Hey guys, just a little warning. I'm going to go on a slight rant. I'm going to try to keep it like as factual as possible. I might go on a slight rant. So when is the worst time to start a bookkeeping business? Okay, so worst time to start. I was in my school group today and I posted up a video and the video was titled, it was on my YouTube channel, but I posted in the school group, said, when is the best time to start your bookkeeping business? And it just talks about like what are the different factors or criteria. And then someone goes, perfect timing. Now, because I lost my job, so this now is my job, and I need to be making money the next 60 days. And I was like, that's hilariously ironic. And like, if you lost your job recently, I'm not saying that like losing your job is ironic, but it's like every single thing that I do on this channel is designed to help you prevent a situation like this from happening. Right? If you notice, she said, I need to be making money in 60 days. Okay? That is so hard, because that is so hard to do. Okay, so think about it like this. Okay, you're just starting, right? You don't really have marketing skills. Maybe you have some accounting and bookkeeping skills, but you don't have sales skills. You don't know how to price your services. Pricing your services on your, like if you're learning this stuff on your own, it's probably going to take you about 6 months to a year to figure that stuff out. Marketing, you could get lucky and maybe start getting some clients like within like the first like month, 2 months. But then even if you get a consultation call, you're probably not going to have the sales skills to close. I'm like, you can get lucky, yes. You're probably going to get lucky, maybe get 1 to 3 clients. And for someone, if you're in a job, right, or if you have a consistent source of income, 1 to 3 clients in your first 30 to 60 days, it's amazing. It's a confidence booster. You got some clients, you got some cash flow. Now your business can kind of succeed. But for you to replace your income, and here's the thing, if you're working with someone that knows what they're doing, like if you're working our mentorship program, okay, we could potentially do that, right? I'm not guaranteeing without talking to you that you could do that, because I don't know where you're starting at right now, right? So I have to talk to you to actually know if you could do that specifically. But a person like that probably is not going to invest in mentorship because she's saying, I need to make money in 60 days. So money's probably tight in their mind. And they could, go and take money out of maybe their 401k, get a loan against it. They could go sell something. They could find a way to go and get the money to pay for mentorship program. But that kind of personality and that kind of state that person's in is probably not going to do that. So in this case, I would probably suggest trying to find another job or at least get a part-time job while this person's starting their business. Because it's kind of tough, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I want people to succeed, but starting a business is not like the easiest thing ever in the world, right? There's a lot of stuff that you have to get correct in order to really make things work for you. And if you don't do those things, it's just tough. So also one thing I hear, and one reason why this happens to some people is because they're like, I don't want to start a business unless I can be 100% all in. And I'm like, that's a really flawed way of thinking about just life in general. I mean, there's almost nothing in life that we're doing 100%, right? Because think about it. Even if you have a job, okay, you're not really doing the job 100% because you have a family, right? Maybe you have a spouse that helps you out with your children. Maybe you don't, right? If you're just solo, right? Even then, you're splitting your job with your health, with your relationships, with your investments. You're always balancing everything. Everything's a balancing act. So if you have to wait for something to be able to focus 100%, it's almost never going to happen. It's the same thing with your business, right? Some people I don't want to start my business unless I can focus 100%. It's well, if you had the opportunity to focus 100% on your business, you would not like where you're at in your life in that moment in time. So don't do that. The best time is really if you can spend maybe 10%, 20%, 30% of your focus on the business. Probably 10, 15 is probably a good number. You want it to be something that you focus on, you think about. Actually, no, focus the wrong word. You want it to be something that you think about consistently, and you take small daily actions to go and reach your goals. And then over time, as you do things correctly, it starts to snowball, right? That's the big secret. It's all a professional services business. In a bookkeeping business, accounting business is called a professional services business, right? really all it is building enough relationships and educating people on why they should work with you until you get a critical mass of people that all say yes around the same time. So it starts off relatively slowly, right? And like, so you might see like our testimonials where it's like, Bryce, this student got, to 10 grand a month. This student got to like 20 grand a month. This student got to 5 grand a month in 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. Yes, but it wasn't like they got a million clients to do so. It's just that the clients that they're going after end up paying them a higher amount of money. So it's worth it in the end, right? So but I think that creates a misconception because most people, when they think about clients, they're thinking of like $100 a month clients. In order to get to like 5 grand, 10 grand a month worth of clients, like you need 50 to 100 clients. That's not like that, right? So our students, in a lot of cases, like they're charging like $500 to like $7,000 per month per client. Or they might get a giant cleanup fee. Like we had a student get a $50,000 cleanup fee. We got a student recently get like one person got an astronomically large cleanup fee. It was from a company that does like, I think the company does like $10 million per year. The company does like $10 million a year. It was, the reason why it was so big was because there was a lot of, the student had to meet with the client a lot to kind of get everything in pieces. And there was a lot of divisions they had to actually meet with. So it was just, and a $10 million company, they could afford to pay you a large amount of money. I believe it was like, don't quote me on this. I think it was like $40,000 to $60,000 for that cleanup. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly all the details, and like I think he's still increasing the price on them because one thing we did was we have like a flat rate, and we also have an hourly component for anything that goes over the current scope of work. So it's like there's a lot of stuff outside of like the original scope of work that he's also additionally charging for. So don't quote me quite on that. Another student just got a client. The client does I think about $2.6 million a year. And they're paying, I think, like anywhere between, I believe they're paying her like $1,200 a month, and they had to pay like I think like $7,000 up front for a cleanup or catch up. But it's just like, so it's not like it's this huge number of clients you're getting like very, very quickly. It's more like you do the right things, and the people that say yes just happen to be people that have the caliber to pay you the right price points that we need. You just do that a couple times a year, right? If you do that, let's say you get like 1 to a month. Okay, cool. Well, you're going to be in a very, 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 very good spot, right? It's very easy to hit 6 figures in a year if your first client gives you a cleanup fee of $40,000, But all that to say is like, so if I was to kind of like turn this around, let's make this video a little bit more positive, right? So how to actually prepare. So while you're working your job, you have a stable set of income, start the business. When I say start the business, start going after clients. I don't necessarily want you to go and like go get your LLC, go get your business bank accounts. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You don't have enough clients for it to actually like make sense at this moment in time, right? Maybe once you get your first client, then you go get your LLC. You really don't have to get a full-on professional business bank account to start. I mean, you could just use QuickBooks has a built-in banking feature, right? QuickBooks can collect the payments, it can send the invoice, and it can actually hold your money. And I think it gives like, I think it was like giving like a 3.7% APR or something like that. So it's actually a high-ish yield savings account. So it's like that could be your business account right there. And like you don't have to like spend that much time doing it. And it's like from there, like just spend like anywhere between like, if you can spend like maybe like 20 minutes a day just doing some of the marketing activities we talk about inside this channel. Maybe you do 1 consultation call a week with potential clients. Like that's really all you need in order to be on your way. If you can do that, if you can get like 1 to 3 consultation calls every week, let's say for like 20 weeks, you're gonna have anywhere between like about 10 to 17 clients right there, right? So it's just like and I know that sounds easy, like wow, you make it so easy, like, but it's like, yeah, you have to find the people, talk to the right people, have your sales skills lined up. But if you can do that, that's really all it takes. Now, within there, like managing your business is I think a lot of people think that our mentorship program is just about marketing, right? And it's not. It is heavily on marketing because most people don't have any ability to get clients. But a lot of it is on like, how do you manage your business in a way that fits the lifestyle you want? So how are you pricing your services? How are you doing your sales calls so your clients don't expect, the moon and expect for you to be on call 24 hours a day? How do you bring on a contractor? How do you have a contract that you give to your potential clients that protects you from, we call it scope creep. Scope creep is like when someone, basically they misrepresent how much work their books actually are. So I'll give an example. One of our students got a client. She was charging, I believe she was charging like $472, like was what she quoted this person. This is before she was in our program. She quoted this guy 472. As they started working together, he goes, "Oh hey, I actually have two more bank accounts. Can you handle those as well?" Oh yeah, and also I have a credit card for each one of those bank accounts. So that's four additional like accounts she has to manage. And she didn't have a way to be like, "Oh well, hey, this is outside of what we talked about." So the first thing we do is we just give you like, hey, scripting of what to say. So if someone does do that scope creep, number one, it's built into your contract that your contract can grow without necessarily having to do another consultation call. And then number two, we talk about how to actually communicate that, hey, this is outside the scope of work, and you can either choose to do it for extra pay, or you can just tell them no, and they have to just live with it. And it just makes everything so much easier, right? My job is to make your life easier. That person in that video where it's like, she got laid off, she only has 60 days to kind of do this, that's making your life hard. If you pre-plan, and like this is what successful, like this is the difference between a successful business and an unsuccessful business owner. And like I'm not trying to be mean to the person, but like just the fact that this situation is happening to you shows that you're probably not gonna be. She probably isn't gonna be that successful in business, right? Business is all about taking the right activities and the right actions today to make life easier for us 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now. That's the only way you're going to be successful. But in her case, she, obviously she's known about starting a bookkeeping business for some time. It's just that now that she's lost her job, now she's actually taking it seriously to go. It's like, that's like reverse forward thinking. That's like reactive thinking. So that means that when she's in her business, she's going to be thinking very, very reactively and thinking from a place of scarcity. And in order for you to actually really find success, you can't be in scarcity, because when you are in scarcity, the only people that actually reach out to you are people that want to pay $100 a month. So now what's going to happen is she's going, and here's the problem. Someone says like, it's a $100 a month client, but it doesn't take me that much time. But it's like, yes, but if you underprice a client, right, and you charge them $100 an hour, right, let's say that it takes you 6 hours worth of work per month. Okay, cool. Well, that client, if that was me, I would have probably charged them like 500, 600, 700 bucks for that same month. Why is that significant? Because every time you get a client, there is an onboarding, there's a getting used to the person's account, there's asking questions, and now you have to like learn how to deal with this personality, right? So whether you're charging 100 or 700, you have the same amount of time that it's going to be taking required to the client. Now, I'll be honest, like, right, if a client's paying like $2,000 a month, like, okay, it will be a little bit more work. But the point is, every single time you get a client, there's still an amount of work. And generally when you're new, most people when they're new, they get a client, they like stop marketing for like 3 to 6 weeks to onboard the client. So let's say she gets a client, it costs her $100 a month, or it's paying her $100 a month. She has to take 2 to 3 weeks off. Okay, well then you've already lost. What is that? That's assuming if she got the client on day number one. If she got the client day number one, then takes 3 weeks off. Okay, so that means at the end of 30 days, you're at $100 a month in revenue. That means you only have another like one more 30-day period before you're in like the danger zone. Which honestly, if you only have 60 days worth of savings, I consider that danger zone. I would not even be thinking about starting a business. I'm thinking about getting another job or a part-time job or something. Like you got the income back. Yeah, and then let's say she gets a second client. Maybe she priced it a little bit better. She priced at $350 a month for this one. But then she takes another 3 weeks to kind of offboard. So now she's made a grand total of $500 a month. Which for most people doesn't even cover a third of their mortgage. So it's like now you're really in danger. Now you're panicked. Now you're going out of savings. It's just like it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? So yeah, instead how you should do it, right, is you should try and take on as many clients you possibly can. And if possible, let's say if you're like in a real cash crunch like this, take on as many clients you possibly can, but do I would actually do a delayed start date. So say, okay, cool. So they make the first payment today, right? Whether it's for the cleanup, whether it's for the monthly services, but you don't get started with their work for 2 to 3 weeks, right? The reason why is because you're going to be able to go and pick up more clients and get more payments and then start all the work, right? The problem was not that you got a client and then stopped moving forward for 3 weeks. It was the fact that pause when she needs the money is very detrimental to the goal that she has set out, right? So if you can eliminate the pause as much you can in between first payment, second payment, third payment, fourth payment, sixth client, etc., you're gonna make it a lot easier. Next thing, try if you're gonna start a business, right? While you're still working your job, try and take a little bit of money every single month and put it into like a separate like account, for your business. Like you should have about 6 months worth of like savings inside the bank. And now I know if you're closer to paycheck, that might be hard, but like that would be kind of like ideally if you can save that much. And I know things are tight right now. I know like the economy is kind of weird and the price of eggs. Probably about 2 weeks ago, they were pricing eggs like $7 a carton for 12. Right? I understand things are the price of eggs have actually gone down significantly again, but I understand things are a little bit tight right now. So like, if you can't do that, just take a little bit, right? So one thing that you can do, and like this is something that I started doing for a family member, right? Because this family member was having trouble savings. Is that I go to a gold store, right? Because one thing is like every single time a student like hits like a certain milestone in the business, I like to buy like a gold coin to kind of represent that milestone. So this is a half gram of gold. This at the time I got it was like $55, right? So what I did for the family members was I said, hey, okay, so every week I want you to try and save $50. Can you save $50? If you save $50, I will match whatever you save and I will double it, right? So just 50, 50, 50, right? So what is that? 50 times 52. It's a 0, 5, 20, 0, 0, 1, 26, about $2,600, right? Which, I mean, I know it's not a lot for some people who watch this video, but an extra $2,600, an extra $5,000 could go a long way. So even if you can't save that much at one time, everything adds up, right? So you just add up. I pre-bought these, to kind of encourage the person. Right, so all she has to do is just save $50 a week, $50 a week, and then basically saving $100 a week. So at the end of the next 12 months, she should have $5,200, right? And then if she does that 2 years in a row, she'll have an extra $10,000. And then, she can really kind of like put herself in position to do whatever she wants to do, And that's how it is. Just start small, do some kind of thing that you can now. Even if it's not the big swing, because remember, it's not about going 100% at something. It's about how can I spend 10 to 20 minutes every single day in order to put myself in a better position tomorrow than what I am in today. That's it, okay? Do that for me. If someone watches the video just does that, that would make all these other videos on our channel worth it, right? I hate to see people where it's like they put themselves in a weird spot. Now they only have like 60 days to kind of make money. It's just not a good place to be in. It's not a fun place to be in. I don't want that to be you. Now, if you're not in that place, if you do want to go and attack this thing, you have some savings on the side, you're ready to go and attack the business and you want to go and reach your goals, click the link inside of the description below the video. Book a call with myself. Let's see if I can help you in our mentorship program. We kind of touched on some of the different things inside the mentorship program, but to sum it all up, my job is to help you understand what are your goals and then reverse engineer the path, the process, and the steps to go and get there so it takes you the least amount of time, okay? So if you want to go and do that, if you want to go reach your goals faster, so you don't have to work as much, if you want to be able to take vacation, then go spend more time with your family, click the link. I'd love to see you. Let's see if I can help you out, okay? I will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy.